Well, I think the lapse to get the report did. I still think it was a very good idea to engage Mr Gibson to do that work.
Our records show that whilst he was mainly... He was mainly getting around about $8,800 a month, give or take a couple of months. On two occasions, that being the 25th of October 2012 and the 17th of August 2012, he got different amounts of money, if I can indicate what those were. In October, he got $44,491.20. And in August, he got $16,534.88.
He probably hadn't been paid for a few months.
Well, the 16,000 and a half, that was the first payment according to our records. Can you account for that?
Probably why. Probably hadn't been paid the month prior.
Sorry, what was the answer?
Probably hadn't been paid the month prior.
Right, and then the next payment was October when two payments were made of $8,580.
Again, probably the same reason. He probably hadn't been paid the month prior.
Well, there's certainly no payment for September 2012, but there's two in October. And then he's paid an additional one in October of $44,491.20. That doesn't appear to be, according to the monthly breakdown.
He probably wasn't paid for a significant time after, or he was owed that money from a significant time before.
Well, that doesn't appear to accord with our records, which indicate that he was in fact paid monthly, except for this extra payment in October 2012 of $44,000.
They're going to bring the balance up.
And how do we know any of that? Is it just your word, is it, sir?
No, it's not my word. At the time, I'm sure there would have been good reason. I'm sure there's records of good reason. I'm not at this stage to tell you what it was, because I don't have those records in front of me. I don't know.
Where would we find those records if we looked?
At the union office. Where else?
And you made records of that, did you?
There would have been a reason why he was paid that amount of money. Yes, noted, absolutely.
And would that be in hard copy form or computer form, or what was it?
I'm assuming it would be in computer form, yeah.
And who would have made the record to your understanding?
I would have probably made Jenny or Danielle make a note of that payment. I would not have authorised the $40,000 payment without some reason or some record, to my knowledge.
What was the policy of the union in relation to the connection of internet services at people's homes?
The secretary and assistant secretary get the services connected. That's all branches and all secretaries and assistant secretaries, I believe, not just ours. And internet connections at people's homes, no, that was just applied to the secretary and assistant secretary.
And so did you have it connected at a home address for you?
Probably, yeah. Doesn't everybody have the internet?
Did anyone, did you pay for it using a union credit card?
It all depends on what address you're talking about.
The address in question?
I know I had one set up at 89 St Mary's Road, Berkshire Park. That was arranged and set up by Danielle, which was her job. That's the only one I know about.
Could you just sit closer to the microphone?
Sorry.
We're just having trouble picking it up. So the Berkshire Park one?
Yep.
You had it connected there?
Yes, I did.
And you say that that was a proper union expense for...
Absolutely, considering that there's no sort of hard phone lines out there and I was having difficulty communicating, yes, so it was a good way to have a telephone.
Do you know why the card of an official that had left the union was used to connect that service to that address?
I have no idea that that's the case.
And you say it was arranged by Danielle
I
O'Brien?
asked Danielle to have the internet put on. I expected that it would be used out of union funds, and I have no idea why she's used a card of an official who doesn't work there.
Can I ask you please to turn to page 484 of the volume 2?
Is there a name next to it?
Yes, it's W. Meany.
W. Meany, yes. I know him.
There's flowers there organised, currently
Yes.
using his credit card
Yes.
to someone personally associated with you,
Yes,
and that's placed by Danielle O'Brien, and it's to an address at Glenmore Park.
yes.
Do you know why that card was used, sir?
No, I do not.
But you're aware, were you not, that
I
that
sent
was
the
being
flowers,
delivered?
yes. Yes, I sent the flowers.
Right, is that union business to send
Absolutely not,
flowers?
and nor would I expect it to have been done on that card. I did not authorise at any time for anyone to make any purchases or personal purchases on my behalf on that card. I would not and have not stolen from my organisation.
Allow me a moment, please. Can I ask, please, the witness to be shown of the 8 volumes, volume 3, please. Could I ask you, please, to turn to tab 29 and page 979.
Yes, yes, yes.
Is that document or a document of that type familiar to you?
No, it's not.
Have you,
Yeah, they're the 4 MasterCard credit cards on page 2978. Oh, hang on.
right?
Yep, that's an expense form, yep. Cash payment journal form, yep.
Were they placed in front of you, forms of that type, with statements behind them for you to authorise or approve?
That is not my approval signature on the front of that document.
Right, whose approval signature is that?
I don't know.
Can I ask you, please, to turn to page 1052 behind tab 32?
Yes.
Do you recognise
Was that 132 you said, or 52?
1052
Sorry,
behind tab 32?
hang on. That again is not my signature.
Do you know whose it is?
No, I do not.
Can I ask you to turn to tab 34 and page 1114?
Yes,
Is that your signature?
That-
Next to approved?
that could be. I don't think so. It's a lot closer to mine, but I don't think so. I won't say a definite no, but I'm not sure.
If you weren't approving them, who do you say was approving them to your knowledge?
I don't know. I wouldn't like to say who. I mean, I think that, you know, I mean, that is for the law to find out and sort out.
Could I please have the witness given volume 5?
Thank you.
Go to tab 54 and page 1887.
Yes,
Do you recognise the approval mark there?
I've never done a mark like that in my life. No, I do not.
Could you please go to tab 59
Yes,
and page 1968? Do you recognise that mark?
I do not.
Could I ask you to go to tab 61 and page 2028?
Hang on, sorry. 2028, you said?
Yes, please.
Yes,
Recognise that approval mark there.
I don't see any expenditure, so I don't know what was approved for one, but no, I don't recognise the mark either.
Well, there's a figure in the amount there.
Okay, well, no, I don't recognise the amount or the,
Right.
or the signature.
Can I ask you please to go to tab 64 and page 2134?
2134.
Yes.
Yes?
Do you recognise that approval mark there?
No, I do not.
Could I ask you to go to page, tab 66, page 2163?
Yes?
Do you recognise that mark?
No, I do not.
And tab 68, page 2224?
No, I do not.
So in January 2014, were you still at Lake Condola on the 14th of January?
Yes.
So who was authorised to sign in your absence?
Nobody. Wayne Meany.
Is that Wayne Manley's
Wayne Meany
mark?
would be the only person who would be authorised to sign that in my absence.
Did you make sure that you never had holidays at the same time?
Yes. As a rule, generally, yes. I think there was maybe 1 year where we both were off at the same time.
Could I just ask you now to be handed volume 7? And behind tab 83, page 2755.
Yes.
Is that your mark?
No, it's not.
Do you know whose mark it is?
No, I do not.
Were you at work in August 2014 on the 21st?
I believe so.
Can you account for how someone else authorised these payments?
No, I cannot.
Can I ask you to turn to the next tab?
Yes.
Page 2767.
Yes.
Is that your mark against the approved?
I have a signature, not a mark, so no, it's not.
Are you saying, therefore, if you would like to just flick through each of those tabs in this volume, are you saying you didn't authorise any of them?
I'm saying the authorisation signature is not mine.
You say you didn't authorise any payments of
I'm
these
saying
months?
that the payments are made and the authorisations are cleared, or once they're checked, they're cleared. I'm saying that I did not see or authorise those payments. And as again, I will say, I regret the way I've been in the last few months or the last year. I understand that I haven't taken my duties or done my duties as well as I should have, and I feel embarrassed and humiliated by it, but I have never authorised anyone to steal or stolen from my organisation.
These, the ones that I've shown you are not only in the last few months, though, they're going back some time.
As I've said, the last 12 to 18 months, the 12 months in particular, I've been very unwell. And anybody I've worked with could tell you that.
Well, I showed you ones from earlier than that. Are you saying that you've been lax as far back as, for example...
I'm saying I can remember occasions where I've asked for those and I've been told that they've been approved by Wayne, or they've been looked at by Wayne, or they're not ready, or they're not available. Those things have happened. And again, as I said, I'd apologise to my members. I apologise most regretfully to the people I work with for the embarrassment and humiliation that I did not deliberately, or I never ever gave anyone authorisation or told anyone they could steal from the National Union Workers New South Wales branch.
In terms of the reimbursement you say that you asked Ms O'Brien to do, did you ever see any documentation, for example, on your payslip or group certificate or equivalent documentation?
I would be paid less or more. I mean, I was having a bit of an argument about my current group certificate. I didn't believe I was paid that much. So there is a bit of a debate about my current group certificate. I would see payments, yes, I would see less payments. I would some weeks not get any pay. because I'd already taken it early or used it to pay other things. Yes, that would happen, yes.
And you never had to dip into your union credit card?
I would never deliberately use my union credit card, I don't know how many times I have to say it, for a personal use. And if I did and it wasn't repaid, it was by mistake.
Can I show you? What about that one? I'm going to, if you could kindly look at volume 5 again, 5 of 8.
Thank you.
What volume?
Yeah.
And can I ask you, to look at these two documents, please? That's a set 4. Thank you. I've just handed you a copy of a cheque dated the 15th of July 2013
Yes.
for $30,201.48.
Yes.
And there's also another cheque I'll come to in a moment. But you see how that amount of $30,201.48 matches the amount on page 1,900 behind tab 56?
1,900, 560, did you say?
Yes.
1,900, hang on. Sorry. Yeah.
Do you see there that appears to be a cheque to pay for that American Express month of statement?
Hang on. Yes.
And do you see that you appear to have been one of the co-signatories to the cheque?
I'm definitely the signature on the cheque.
Can you account then for how it is that you came to authorise the payment of that cheque?
That cheque and the authorisation slip don't come together.
Well,
So that the cheque for signature would have been put on my desk with the other cheques for signature. Once they are signed and things are paid, then the authorisation slip comes with the definition of what was, or the summary of what was on there. So they're not together. Well, I never seen them together for quite some time.
right, so is it the case that someone wrote out that cheque? Do you know who's writing the body of the cheques?
That could be Danielle's, Michelle's, Renee's, could be any of the girls.
And you just sign it because it's placed in front of you, do
I
you?
sign it because it is made to an organisation I am familiar with, that we deal with, and I like to ensure that our bills are paid. I'm assuming for something to be that large, 66,000, and I'm not having a look. I'm believing there would probably be something like insurances, Christmas parties, maybe a vehicle purchase, something like that in there.
So at the moment, I'm asking you to look at the $30,000 one,
sorry,
which
sorry.
matches the page 1900.
Yep.
So you just signed it because you thought it looked all right, did you?
I signed it because well, I think, yeah. I mean, it would have had it was there. Yeah, absolutely. And I would have waited for the summary.
You would have waited for the summary.
I believe so, yeah. The cheque wouldn't have been posted until the summary was authorised.
So you looked through the summary, did you?
No. I'm trying to say that even if I signed the cheque, until the summary was authorised, the cheque should not have been posted.
And who held up the payment of the cheque until the summary was checked?
Well, Danielle would have. She looked after all of those things. I know I sound a bit like a broken record, but that's the person I had, and I trusted her with everything. Not only did I think her being a family member would make her more trusted, I truly believed that she would not do the wrong thing.
But did you go through the statements behind that payment, that cash payment journal for $30,201?
As I said, I would have signed the cheque and waited for the summary.
And then did you check the summary?
I never received the summary, is what I'm saying. So this is
What sense did you wait for it then?
Well, this is where the breakdown happened. I mean, the summary I'm looking at here is not signed at all. So that the summary I have in front of me for $30,000 is not approved and not signed.
Well, you didn't wait for anything, did you?
Well,
You simply signed the cheque.
Well, the cheque shouldn't have been posted then. So there was a fall down in communications or a fall down in the policies. I don't go to the post office and post cheques, I'm afraid.
But you didn't need to sign it without saying what it was for, did you?
No, it was for American Express. It's obvious who it was for. It doesn't say Peter's Pizzas, it says American Express. Well, I know that we have a number of cards with American Express, and I would have been aware that there would have been probably higher expenses for that month. I would have had it explained to me when the cheque came to me, that we had insurances, or we had these things, or those things, a verbal summary. I would not sign a cheque for anybody or anything. If a cheque come before me and I didn't have any idea who it was, I would not sign it.
So you were saying that you did have some sort of process of checking, that you had some sort of
Of course.
verbal
I've
explanation.
I've never said we didn't. I've never sat here and said that we didn't. I'm saying I failed in my duties to ensure that all payments were correctly payments. That's what I'm saying.
And
At no stage do I say we didn't have anything in place. Of course we had things in place. But people fall over. I was the person.
Then the $66,000 cheque, that was the second document you were handed, matches the page at 1,968. Do you see that?
I do see that.
That apparently does have an approval.
That is not my signature.
Right. Whose is it?
I don't know.
You signed the cheque.
I did. And for some reason, somebody approved it and sent it. I do not know why or who.
And back in August 2013, were you having any particular health difficulties, sir?
I've been having health difficulties for quite some time. August 2013, I believe I was having a lot of domestic situations, yes. I've had them for quite some years now. I was in the family law courts at that stage. I've had a very difficult couple of years, and as I said, I'm not looking for anyone's sympathy. That's my problem.
So it's now a difficult couple of years, not just a year. It's now a couple of years.
A person like me would not admit if they were unwell, nor would they like to admit that they're struggling. I've never been a person who cried or went for help, and I assure you that when I did cry and go for help, a lot of people were surprised, including myself. I have not, would not, and never stolen from my organisation. I would not authorise anyone to steal from my organisation. And I am not sitting in the Royal Commission today, not to assist the Royal Commission. I am here to assist. I do not want this to be blemished against my name. The Bellin name has over 51 years with that union, and I assure you, 51 good years.
Commissioner, if those could be received into evidence, those two cheques.
NUW MFI 28 will be two cheques to Amex drawn by the NUW, signed by Messrs Anderson and Bellin, dated the 15th of July 2013 and the 21st of August 2013.
Before lunch, I asked you about the authorisation of electronic funds transfers. Do you recall being asked about that?
I do.
Do you recall ever signing any sort of form with the Commonwealth Bank to allow you to authorise electronic funds transfers?
I do.
You do remember?
Yes.
Sorry to interrupt, Senior Counsel Sisting. If this is a convenient time, if Counsel Sisting is moving to a new topic, I wondered if I might ask just for the witness to have a 5-minute break.
Would you like that?
Yeah.
Yes, we'll adjourn for 5 minutes.